Your neighbor matters. The money matters. Health matters. Like energy matters. Purpose matters. There's no one thing that matters most.
Welcome to the Own Your Life podcast. We are all about repurposing adversities for your gift to yourself as well as your gift to the world. And nobody else has done that better, I think, than Grant Cardone. If you guys are new to following him, first off, you don't know the 10X movement. Y'all need to get yourself out of the damn cave and start getting all into it. And second off, if you've been following my journey and you're like, why is this Melissa Jackson chick posting Grant Cardone shit everywhere? Grant, I want to personally thank you. You saved my life. I had 12 surgeries back to back, including brain surgery. And I lost everything financially before I read the 10X rule, man. So you 100% saved my life. It's an honor to even have you on here.
Yeah, thank you so much for being you and doing what you do, and for persisting in some really, really difficult times.
Yeah, and I love your story because you've done that, right? So you had the drug addict situation, you lost your father. You literally model what it's like to come from extreme adversity and literally change lives. I was at 10X GrowthCon in Miami, 35,000 people there with you changing their life. So can you share with us, people that are not familiar with your background, where you came from?
Yeah, so my dad died when I was 10, and I came from a middle-class family, good family in Lake Louisiana, a little town called Lake Charles, and good family. My mom and my dad, were loving parents, and 5 kids. I was the youngest of 5, the fourth youngest because I'm a twin. He was young. He was 5 minutes younger than me. So, and my dad died very young, 52 years old. Heart attack, heart problem, heart complications. He was the sole provider of the family, and then the family unit went into tremendous amounts of fear. When my mom should have been experiencing grief, she was thrown into, okay, I got to manage money now. Mm-hmm. And people ask me why I talk about money so much. It's because at a very young age, I got a real lesson in economics. When money stops coming in, when you can't depend on money, fear increases. And while money might not make you happy not having it, or having to manage very little bit with no more new money coming in, and you don't know anything about money, you're financially illiterate, you have no skills to bring in new money. A lot of people suffer from this still today. Mm-hmm. When that happens, every day you're experiencing uncertainty. And uncertainty is the basis of fear. I don't know what to do. I don't know how long this money lasts. And so I watched my mom at 10 years old. I didn't exactly understand, Melissa, what I was like. I was just taking information in, right? As a kid, you later put it together in a puzzle. And so I went to school because my mom thought that that's what I needed to do to get a good job and to get paid money. I went to college, did that. All that was very laborious, very boring for me. And part of what I believe, 17 years of being trapped in a school system that really wasn't speaking to me, created tremendous boredom for me. And discontent.
Yeah.
Dissatisfaction. That would then lead me, I don't want to blame the drugs on that, but it definitely opened up an avenue. Wow, this is exciting. Mm-hmm. It was the flip side of, it was a parallel, really, it's a parallel, a brother or a cousin to uncertainty. Drugs are just another version, but it was exciting. It was a little bit of an adventure.
Mm-hmm. Because you're trying to numb out that greatness within you that everyone told you not to think.
No, I don't know if I was trying to numb out. I know this is what all the psychiatrists and psychologists, oh, you're trying to get rid of the pain. Dude, I was looking for I was looking for a game.
Yeah.
I was looking for excitement. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't drugs, it was guns. If it wasn't guns, it was destroying stuff. If it wasn't, like, I had nothing to do. Literally from the age of 10 to probably 19, there was nothing for me to do. Like maybe 16, because I got my first job when I was 16, but I should have been working when I was 10.
Yeah.
My kids worked this weekend. They worked 2 days. They were the happiest they've been in a month.
Yeah.
They had
There's
4 days
nothing to do.
From 9 till 9 o'clock at night, they were working. Yeah, exactly. It gives me I couldn't contribute. I couldn't do anything. There was no way for me to make a difference in my life, my mom's life, other than mow the lawn and rake the pine needles, you know? So by the time I was 20, by the time I was 16, I was a drug addict. And by the time I was 25, I had been using drugs for almost 10 years every day. Went to a treatment center, just to cut the story short, went to a treatment center for drug addiction when I was 25 and started turning my life around. So I've been working on the new version of Grant for 36 years. People are seeing where I'm at today. You know, they see the stuff, but you don't see the stuff.
Yeah, you don't see all the work behind it and the person that you became to do it. So not only are you helping people that lost their fathers, like the huge thing that you did at GrowthCon 3 with the jumpsuit that you jumped out of the plane with, that whole donation thing was freaking awesome. And then also you're helping people become financially free. Like, I love what you talk about, because you're like, money is important. If you have money, you don't think it's important. If you're like, shit, how am I going to pay for this surgery? Or how am I going to, help my parents stay alive? Like, money is important.
Well, the surgery is important, and money just happens to be what the doctor and the hospital have to have.
Yeah,
I mean, if
exactly.
If hospitals don't get money, they're not going to be able to take care of people. Money's important, period.
Yeah. It gives you freedom. It gives you choices. Like for me, before I found you, I was like, dude, I can't afford this surgery. So I got to choose a roof over my head, or choose, trying to just make it through with these surgeries. Like, you give people freedom by educating them on money. So could you give some advice to somebody that is just starting, that's just brainwashing themselves, as you put it, jumping into the Kool-Aid, as you also say, of like getting financially literate? What advice would you give somebody just trying to get into this?
I would probably start with the little millionaire booklet I wrote. It's 44 pages. It's a little small booklet. It's easy to read. I went to 17 years. There's more information in this book about money. This book simplifies money. Okay. What is the formula? Where do I need to start if I don't have anything? At 25, I didn't have any money and I was in debt. Had no skills. I did know the one thing I had going for me was I knew money was important. And anybody that would tell me it wasn't important, I'd be like, okay, well, whatever. Like, you're confused. Like, I knew that. That was stable for me. It was like, I know money is important. It was important every time I went to fill up my car. It was important when I went to the grocery store to get food. It was important for my mom. Like, I'm like, no, this is important. And I thought the thing to do was to work, get money, save it. And like, I've been learning about money for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
But the first 20 years I made mistakes with it. I learned my dad taught me how to work. My mom taught me how to save it, and nobody taught me what to do with it.
Yeah.
And so the first 20 years of my professional career, meaning I'm trying to get good at some job or a business. The first 20 years, what I did was I focused on how to go get it and how to keep it. And what I didn't know, and I didn't know until in the last decade, maybe 11 or 12 years, hey, what do I do with it now? So I did everything that everybody told me. I'll invest in this and buy stock and get a mutual fund and diversify, leave your money in the bank, get a retirement account going. But the truth is, all those are brainwashing mechanisms. They're propaganda perpetuated by the banks and the financial institutions. I bought the house. That was stupid. I started a retirement account. That was ridiculous. I mean, it was ridiculous compared to what I'm doing with money now.
Yeah.
If you're not going to do anything at all, okay, go do those things. But there's still that, the fact that you're not going to do anything doesn't make doing that. It's not a good comparison. So I would tell people, one, start reading stuff about money. Study what the wealthiest people on the planet do. Okay. The wealthiest, not your uncle that's a millionaire. Study the wealthiest people on the planet. Study the financial institutions. What is JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs doing with money? They do not invest in stocks. They sell stocks.
Yeah.
And they don't diversify. They take major positions. They diversify with your money, but they don't do that with their own money.
Yeah.
So Warren Buffett, like study Warren Buffett. I've been studying Warren only buys cash flow companies. So when I realized that, I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna invest in cash flow companies. Then I realized, but I don't know anything about these companies. Peter Lynch is a guy I study. He's like, hey, look, if you don't understand it, don't do it. I can't buy Coca-Cola stock because I don't know enough about Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
But I want the cash flow. So I use rules in my life. Number one, I'm going to buy cash flow. Number two, I'm not going to do it if I don't understand it. So that's why I landed on real estate, because it's very simple to me. You know, there's 30 units, there's 30 tenants. I can get to know them. They can afford it. They pay me. They live there. We take care of property. I keep cash flow.
Yeah. And you're not worried about, one of my favorite quotes by you is, if you cannot afford to buy a $5 coffee, then you have a much bigger problem than a $5 cup of coffee. You're not worried about saving pennies. You're worried about growing that top line. Would you agree?
Yeah. So like this, I don't know what this costs, but that book that was so popular about, if you don't drink coffee in 30 years, you'll have 30 grand. Like, I don't need 30 grand. I need 30 million.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're not that scarcity mindset.
I'm not playing the $30,000 game. I want 30 million put away. So now some of your listeners are going to hear that and they're going to be offended by it. And they're going to be like, I don't need all that. Like why are you having this? I'm talking to the audience now. Why are you having this knee-jerk reaction to what I just said? It's because you quit on dreaming big. And I know this to be true because I did this. The biggest mistake I've made in my entire life was I have always thought too small. I've always thought less of myself than my potential.
Yeah.
And I would expect, I mean, I meet a lot of people every year. I've met millions of people in my career. When people start getting really successful and then they look backwards, they're like, oh my God, the whole time I was thinking too small.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you do personally to break out of that, right? So what I love about you is success, your duty, obligation, responsibility. You're chasing your potential. So how do you know where that's at currently? Like, how do you push yourself towards that today versus what you thought your potential was last year or 10 years ago?
Yeah, I think that's why so many people were touched by Kobe. You know, his passing was this is a guy that was not satisfied with 4 rings and, you know, a basketball career and being known as one of the best. He wanted to do something else. He was searching for potential. And for me, success is not a number. It's not an award. It's not somebody else telling me that I'm doing great. It's not a jet. It's not a Lamborghini or a warehouse of Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
It's being number one. It is, hey, am I searching for the next, like, I can't really put my hands around success. It's the reach for something, the next me, the next version of me. You know, that's where life is in trying to figure out. So now the audience is thinking, well, when's enough, and when are you satisfied? I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for satisfaction. I can't get no. We gotta get that song on the playlist. You know, I can't get any. I can't get any, and I don't want any. I don't want it. I'm not seeking these states that people seem to spend time looking for, like these moments of bliss, and I want the game.
Yeah.
And
you're obsessed with the game.
I want to discover so that I can keep sharing with other people and myself and my kids. Yeah. And look, there's another level in you. There's another level in all of us.
Yeah. I think that once people get satisfied, they start to die. Like, you see the person that's worked his whole damn life, like loves what he does, and then he retires He sits in his shitty house. He goes and plays golf until he gets bored, and then he slowly starts to decay away.
1,000%.
So, yeah, like you've got to chase that next level. And also, if you are, like Grant says, listen to this and you're having that knee-jerk reaction of when's enough is enough. Never. Like, the world deserves the next version of you.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, like it's selfish to not go and get as much money as you can to impact as many people as you can. Like the foundation, like I'm really passionate about wanting to cure Chiari malformation, which is where the neurological disorder I have. That's going to take a shit ton of money. So
that'll take billions of dollars.
Exactly. And it's not like, what I love about you is you're not, hey, I'm going to cram all my money in the wall. You're changing people's lives.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, the kind of things that you're talking about, they like, you don't even know how much money it could take hundreds of billions. And that might not do it because you might get so much resistance from the other players that don't want resolution to some of these things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. People that don't want it fixed, whether it's in medical institutions or what have you. Yeah, they they did the first skull transplant, I think, last year, which I don't think it worked out well. I mean, you're transporting someone's like whole skull onto another body. So it's going to be a long time, but it's going to take a shit ton of money. It's going to take a lot of money.
Yeah.
So what do you think made you not be a victim of your adversity and get back up and help people with addiction, help people that are broke, help people that lost their fathers? Like how did you not just fall into the norm and stay a victim like a lot of people would?
You know, I think that's where my addiction really served me. My you know, this affliction to addiction, that where I almost, you know, literally killed myself. I mean, drugs almost robbed me of my dreams and my career and my family and everything, like in my life. And you know, disappointment. I just flipped the whole thing. Like these things, look how many unbelievably great people have had some kind of addiction problem.
Absolutely.
All of them.
So
I don't think it's about drugs. I think it's about the individual's quest to be something else, to be special. I've always thought I was going to be special. And I know some people can't have that conversation because they're like, oh, that's so arrogant. Okay, well, it's still true for me. Like, it is just true for me that when I was a little kid, I thought I was going to be somebody.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any evidence that I was going to be somebody. I didn't have any special talents. I don't have any gifts, right? But I had this little thing, whatever this thing is inside of me, says, dude, you're going to be somebody one day.
Yeah.
And I just never gave up on that. And when I did give up on it, I ended up in trouble. I've always ended up in trouble every time. Not always drugs, but okay, I can't commit to a relationship. I had relationship problems for years because I was so bored with me that I projected that onto all the partners that I had. I mean, they were probably wrong anyway, but how can you pick somebody right when you're wrong?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, how can you pick the right person to be with when you're at 60%? Looking for her or him to be 100. Doesn't matter. If you're 60 and they're 100, you're taking them down to 80.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, so this is why did I flip it? I don't know, because I didn't quit. I think because I didn't quit, because I didn't listen to everybody says, oh my God, you're doing so good. No matter how old I am. I was on the phone with my sister the other night, last night actually. Oh my God, you're doing so good. I'm like, dude, I'm not 8.
Yeah. Dude,
I don't need the encouragement, you know?
Yeah.
See, the encouragement for me is, what are you going to do next?
Yeah. The next mission, the next battle.
What else can you do, Grant? That would be the encouragement for me, not the attaboy pat on the back. Oh, you're doing so good. We're so proud of you. We're so proud of you, little man. You know, I'm like, who cares about what they did? Success is never about what somebody did. To me, it's not about, oh, I won that, because that's my pass.
Yeah.
And
the next thing.
Yeah, the ball player. You know, Michael Jordan he wins his, what did he win? Six rings? wins the 6 rings. He tells Tim Grover that Saturday, what we're going to do next.
I love that. I'm listening to Tim Grover Relentless book, and I'm like, dude, I love that book. When I found 10X Rule, I was listening to it for 15 minutes before I went to the office. Literally sat there and listened to the whole damn thing the whole day. Yeah. I was like, I can't put this down. And Relentless, Tim Grover, it's kind of similar. I'm like, dude, this is the next level. This is the level of chasing your potential that so many people try to shame out of culture. They're like, just stay small, just stay calm. Why are you pushing so hard? Just be happy. It's all bullshit. It really is.
Totally. Well, you know, it is or it isn't, right? So if it's true, there's been a lot of things that I thought were true in the moment. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not bullshit until it is.
Yeah.
For the person, right? A person's got to decide, okay, that's not real for me anymore. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I don't want to argue with people whether I'm right or wrong. I just want to be successful.
Yeah.
And
you want to be right
all the time.
for you.
Like, don't worry about right or wrong. Worry about is it helping you be successful? Is whatever your beliefs are.
Yeah.
You know, are they helping you be who you can be? Mm-hmm. Because I don't care whether it's right or wrong. The calculation doesn't matter, really. Mm-hmm. What matters is, did I get a result? Did it help me be in better shape or have more energy, or, you know, the whole meat vegan thing. Mm-hmm. That's a perfect example. Like, people get so argumentative about it. Like, dude, just do which one works for you.
Absolutely.
Democrat or Republican, like, what does it matter? Neither one of them get a result.
Isn't that the truth? Oh,
you know, so what are you going to do? You know, my politics is Cardone and 10X.
And what I like about you is you also say, I don't care if I'm going to be wrong, I'm going to be Grant wrong. So you have this unbelievable certainty within what you're doing is right for you.
Yeah, and I'm
your success.
Because I'm not stuck on being right either. I am willing to be Grant wrong. Mm-hmm. What I don't want to do is be everybody wrong.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, like, if I go to people, like you talked about the Miami conference we did February of 2019. There was 35,000 people there. We did that on Super Bowl weekend. Everybody told me not to do that. Not some people, everyone. Everyone. There was no one that supported me in that decision. Not in my office, not outside the office, not Steve Harvey, not Tim Grover. No one supported me in the guy that made Tony Robbins. He's like, dude, do you do this? It is career suicide.
Damn.
He's the guy that he's been with Tony since the beginning. He's like, look, I've been doing promotions and events for 35 years. You do this and you are committing event suicide. Mm. And he's like, you do this 35,000 person thing. He's like, if 10,000 people show up, you're going to have an empty stadium. You'll have 10,000 people there. You'll be doing one of the biggest events in the United States. It will still look like a disaster. Mm. And I'm like, dude, I'm doing it. And he's like, why Super Bowl weekend? Put it before, put it after. I said, dude, we're doing it. I knew I was right.
Yeah.
And so how can you be right? You set a target. I talk about this all the time. Set a target and you push. You don't lower the target. You just push. You just keep pushing into the resistance and increase the effort and the energy and the creativity until you hit the target.
Yeah.
And fortunately, you know, we did it. Now, I don't know if I'll ever do it again.
But the mental toughness that shit had to have given you to be able to prove everyone wrong.
Oh my God. And then when you do it, when you pull it off, then you're like, oh my God, I am a badass.
So what's next for you in this year?
Let me say this, more important than me being a badass, my entire staff. Like, talk about people on a team. Every person that works here now was part of that as well.
Yeah.
And they all now have a new level of confidence. It's like when you pick up weights and you do more weight than you thought you could. You're like, whoa. Mm-hmm. Every 60 trillion cells in your body are saying, hey, I'm strong.
Yeah.
And when you do that with an organization achieves something everybody said they couldn't do, including the people in the organization. They're all like, damn, we're strong.
In your marriage too, I watched the G&E show afterwards where you're like, dude, this huge big ass target was such a win for our relationship, for our marriage, and started talking about what was next for you guys.
Yeah.
So, damn.
Wins and victories are important.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
most marriages have as many losses as they have wins. And, you know, when we're focused on the wins and the victories, we don't have problems in our relationship.
Yeah.
And when I don't have enough to do, I'm focused on the out points, not the plus points.
So we had Elena on here a couple of weeks ago, and she shared some amazing, amazing things. I actually listened to her book on the day I was getting ready for a wedding, as I was getting ready for it. What advice would you have for relationships? Is it celebrate the wins, have big targets, like for the people out there that are married right now?
Get on the same page, you know, and that means each individual needs to write down what their goals are, and then sit down as a couple and say, hey, this is where these things are really, really important to me. And then if you're my partner, Melissa says, well, these things are really important to me. And then you guys look at the two things and say, hey, how are we going to make these, but who's giving up what?
Yeah.
Because these things are not equal. Okay.
So
like, oh man, I want a helicopter. All right. Well, is that really important right now? Okay. Like you got to set the priority. How important are these things? You know, I want the kids to, I don't know, whatever comes up on your list, right? Like, like in families, first of all, most people, you know, they don't even know what they want.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be happy. What does that even mean? I just want to be happy. I just, you know, I had a guy tell me the other day with a TV studio said, you know, family matters most. I said, bro, it all matters. And the guy's head almost came off his shoulders. Like when you get hit with the truth and you're ready for it, his head, like literally he's driving down the road, his head, he's like, what'd you say? I said, everything is important.
Yeah.
It all matters, bro. And he's like, oh my God, I'm so glad you told me that. I've been operating off the premise of this idea without even checking or verifying it. It's an idea he adopted. Somebody told him family matters most. Somebody told his mother family matters most. Somebody told the grandmother that family matters most. It's been passed on for like 700 years.
Yeah.
It all matters. Your neighbor matters. Your neighbor matters. The money matters. Health matters. Like energy matters. Purpose matters. There's no one thing that matters most.
Yeah. You got to be obsessed with all of it.
Yeah. Well, but there's got to be a priority of things. Say, hey, what am I taking care of today? Like when you went into your surgery, the only thing that mattered right then was, hey, I got to get this surgery handled. I got to come out of this thing. You know, when you're having a baby, my wife had both the babies at home. The only thing that mattered in that moment was getting those babies delivered healthy. Yeah. So then it's like, I got to regroup again now. Okay, we got the babies now. Now what? Where are we going? What are we doing? What's most important? What are you going to give up? What am I going to give up? What's on my list that's actually in my way? Yeah, absolutely. Damn, that mic drop, man. You need a mic up there. Drop it. So last question I've got for you is, what is the legacy you want to be remembered for when all of this comes to an end? So, you know, I just hope it never ends. Yeah. I hope people, you know, the whole Kobe thing, man. So many people are remembering Kobe right now. 2 million people signed a petition to put Kobe's profile on the new NBA logo. Wow. Like I don't know what that guy did to like he dropped in on some band of people wanting greatness. And it's not just basketball players. Like that guy was transitioning. And hopefully people will remember me for like, dude, that guy was fun. He was intense. He helped me. He woke me up. He taught me how to sell. He taught me how to do money. He taught me how to dream big. He taught me how the 10X thing. I hope the 10X thing lives for hundreds of years. Yeah. And, you know, I hope maybe people be like, dude, I was in the middle class and I was just getting by, just doing enough. I had the BMWs. The middle class is they're selfish people.
Yep.
Because they're satisfied. It's all about them. I got my house, I got my little fence, I got my kids going to good schools, I'm taking my medication, and I get to play golf twice a week, and I get to go to Marriott Hotel in Jamaica once a year. It's all about me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying that because I got stuck in that. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe people will be angry at me forever. It don't matter to me. I just hope people remember.
Yeah. I don't see anybody that could be angry at you, Grant, besides people that are denying their potential.
Yeah,
and they're angry at themselves.
There's some people angry at me because I go poke on them all the time. Yeah. Listen, you're awesome, buddy. You're awesome.
Oh,
I really
you.
appreciate you doing this, and I appreciate what you're doing to inspire people and to share yourself, your story, and with other people, and hopefully give people some inspiration.
Well, thanks, man. And I mean, it wouldn't be possible without you, man. So thanks so much for all you do. And I literally love your movement. So I'm here to support you however I can.
Love you, buddy.
Kick ass. All right, man. Have a 10X day.
All right, you too.
If you're new to this broadcast, my name is Melissa Jackson, motivational speaker, author, and I also do a lot of consulting for business owners, whether that's business coaching, whether that's my business accountability boot camp,